So long as Avo said, the Morphling is not against the Lina, that is a major concern. Whereas the Lesh, he does a little bit better. He fares much better in that lane. But we're going to have to see. Here's we got underway for game number 2 between AG already getting the upset win in game number 1 versus TNC, who granted are a little bit shakier these days without the leadership of Captain March. But let's see how they can recover after maybe a loss that they weren't expecting, to say the least. I think if you were, I mean, shoutouts to you if you were an AG fan and you said, no, they're gonna beat TNC, because, well, gosh darn it, you're right. As we see our very classic 0-second pause in the SCA.
I like that. I think this draft is a bit easier for TNC to execute. To be honest, I'm much more comfortable with TNC this time. But as I mentioned earlier. You never know, honestly, because the last game TNC did not really look good very much.
Yeah, they looked kind of like shaky. I mean, they were confident. It felt like in the wrong places, and they didn't really adjust to the play style, right? They didn't really adjust very well. Which again, I don't know if that's indication of something missing there, that maybe March would normally step in, but again, that's me looking a little bit too into the psyche of teams, which I think I shouldn't be doing. But I think there's a pattern of behavior here, right, that I can't deny.
Yeah, for sure. But this time it's looking a bit better because Mamang Daya is there as well as the Morphling. You know, I'm much more comfortable with this, and I'm really hoping they don't put Mamang Daya mid. They seem like they're gonna though. I don't know, man. Mid Morphling versus Lina.
I love this.
Especially early.
From Tark cut to Summit, and got to you too, Dai. I think Dai must be thank you. Have fun, Whiteman. They give so much support to Whiteman. You gotta love this, the countrymen supporting each other. But now they're looking to kill him immediately after, as I say that as the 4-man smoke will break. This time, TNC, nice adjustment. They go, hey, they're gonna do they're gonna be up to some funny business. Just be ready. I'm an immaterial girl. I didn't know that was the master tier voice line. But look at this. I mean, look where Armel is holding up. Look where Gabby was holding up well underneath the tier 1 tower, as they know that they're gonna go for a 5-man, or even 5-man rotation for one of the bounty runes for First Blood. Not gonna happen this time though.
Try to take the bounties here, perhaps. Yeah, at least they take the 2 bounties, but they don't accomplish the usual play by AG, which is all smoking. Yeah. It's minute 1.
Minute
quick.
1. TI6 style, you know.
Mamang Daya will at least take the bounty rune here. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I was in the stands at TI6, which is why I just bring it up, because you saw it every game, dude. Shadow Demon, Mirana, ET, every single game, just illusions destroying your buildings. DC, what a time. I can't wait for Lance to be back, dude. I really can't wait for Lance to be back.
I don't know, this game, I don't understand this mid lane, to be honest. Is the
real quick, can I interrupt you for a second? Just what? Gabby's quick buy, he knows what he wants. This is what a girl wants, you know. Immaterial girl, 3 divine rapiers. I don't think so. Hit me up with the jewelry, fam. But exactly. Mid lane though, as you were saying.
I just don't understand why they choose to put the Morphin with Lina. Is this matchup better than I was expecting it to be? And I would expect the Lina, honestly, 1 misstep, Lightstrike Array, and you die.
Yeah.
So it seems like a really difficult lane to run for the Morphling.
You're outranged. Dragon Slave as well is great for CSing, and almost always connects onto you as well for that extra efficiency.
Yeah, the only thing that I guess is the advantage of Morphling is that Lina's projectile speed is trash.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, that's true, but
Morphling is really fast. He's like a dentist, you know? He's like a little water gun in the dentist.
Oh, interesting. That's a very unique comparison, my friend, but extremely accurate.
Yeah. But he's not doing too well to begin with, so I don't know. But like, is it not better to put Lightstrike? Lightstrike's matchup against Lina is just okay. Like, nobody really wins that lane. It's 50-50. Slightly Lina favorite because Lina's favored in most lanes, but that's it. And putting your Morphling here, especially if your Morphling is your win condition, right? Kind of sacrificing a lot of his farm. Like, he might just die here. Look at this. Especially level 1. He's gonna die to Lina. No.
Nope.
Needed 1 more hit, but you kicked him out of lane, which is fine. Well, as much as you can kick out a Morphling, right? He kind of stays there, morphing around. It's really annoying.
I mean, and it's level 1 morph, which is just the slowest thing in the world. That might have been a kill. Attribute shift, yes, thank you. That might have been a kill.
I get it wrong all the time.
If Armel was willing to go for it, I'm surprised that he didn't, to be honest, because he had the mana for the Dragon Slave and the range easily for a last hit, or for an auto exec, which would have been a kill, but maybe it's better. Maybe Armel's, you know, 5-heading this, and he's like, well, he's going to be forced to use all of his regen. I still have plenty of regen, and I'm just going to be able to just put him back to low HP in like 3 seconds. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that tracks. Yeah, this is going to be better for Armel in the short run. It would have been first blood goal, but look at this. He is bullying Mamang Daya already so
That's
hard.
what I expected, right? I was going crazy. When pro players do this, I always think, is this matchup better than I thought? You know, no, I was right. It's just they just didn't really consider it, or they don't want to, they don't care. I'm not really certain why they do this. Maybe just DB is not comfortable playing the mid lane. We have seen him do this before, right? Which is why it's surprising. When Mamang Daya was playing the Ricky, they actually swapped around. Mamang Daya played the carry role, and DB was playing the mid role. So clearly they're capable of doing this.
Yeah, and Armel's actually such a good Lina too. 14 and 7. Yes, he's got a really good matchup here, but still, just impressive.
Last
play.
sitting with Lina against a Morphling is still difficult.
Yeah.
The projectile speed is the speed of my grandmother. She's 95.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Well, see, for an American grandma, it's the Colt 45, which is just as fast as anyone else.
Yeah, mine's just Spanish grandma. She's really fast at making croquetas though. She's really good at that.
Dude, I miss Latino food so much.
That's like empanadas, I think. Or,
Yeah.
Or dip. It's like Spanish dim sum, I guess.
Pues es como tortilla con el pollo adentro y.
Stop speaking Spanish. Our viewers are from not from Spain.
That's true. That's true.
I'm the only Spaniard that plays Dota.
Nah,
He's
that's
gonna
not
get him
true.
with a Dragon Slave.
It's not true. Flapjack is casting in Spanish for
He's
NA,
half
I think.
Peruvian, very unfortunately for me.
Dire's
Well, me.
turret has been killed.
Well, me.
Nice. Very.
They
He's
need
got
one more hit,
He's got 5
but-
stick charges. He's totally fine.
Oh, okay, like if they had Stroke of Fate, he would have died, but unfortunately, oh, never mind. Gabi's crazy. Stroke of Fate. There we go.
Oh, nice. But I think
What a
Gabby's gonna pay
snipe.
for this.
He's Gabi's playing with the shadows.
He's got 3 leap charges. He should
Oh.
be fine.
They're gonna punish him.
Nah, they got him. 10 wand charge is totally fine here. Although last time I said that they did die, but I know for a fact Lin is totally fine here. There's no way he dies. There we go. Oh,
They
the
might
creep-
get a counter kill on YM. Oh, middle lane, they finally kill
Wow,
on
the
Daya.
rotation.
That's another thing, by the way. Rubik is great at killing Morphling because he also brings a lot of burst damage, and he can easily rotate to this mid lane, right? I mean, you are giving Armel a free game. Maybe they felt bad from last game, and they're like, all right, this time Armel needs to have a good lane.
All right, Armel. We dumpstered you last time. Now it's your turn.
It's yeah, it's odd. I don't know because this Morphling is not having a good time. At least top lane, Leshak is okay, but it's not like he's really canceling KP. Like KP's fine.
No, KP's fine. Yeah, he's gone for now
Oh,
3
wow.
rings. Oh,
Did you see that deny? Sorry, that deny of Armel against an adaptive strike with your sad projectile speed.
No, I did not.
That was beautiful. Armel is so good. I forget how good he plays Lina because it's not the greatest mid hero. It's a very risky mid hero nowadays. But Armel still really brings out the best of him.
Yeah.
Okay, DB, you madman, try to go for the bounty rune. He was baiting out the ball. Sorry, that the splitter.
Is DB going for the build? No points in the lightning storm, which is I think a little bit surprising to me, especially because especially based on the previous matches that we've seen DB on. He tends to favor it a little bit. So I think this is good though. This is a good sign that he's definitely going to be playing a different style here. We'll see though. In the side lanes where there's more creeps, an extra hero. Well, there's not more creeps, but you know you're generally always fighting around the creep wave, and you can't clear them as fast because you don't have the levels compared to the mid lane.
By the way,
Womi's dying.
yeah, Womi. One last hit by Gabi. Womi plays a blink strike. Goodbye to Night Stalker. This time you're not getting a counter kill.
It's
LYM.
Phantom
You have no
Strike,
leap.
not Blink Strike.
I'm a
Alvaro.
Dota 1 player. Also, I just checked, by the way, because the chat was telling us Thai, which they were saying to each other, is not thank you, it's poop. so, so when they were saying that to each other, it wasn't like, oh yeah, thank you. You just went poop, poop to each other.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, I had to double check to make sure that Twitch chat was not memeing us, but they were being genuine for once.
That is great. Well,
Sorry
you
guys,
know,
we're from Malaysia, not from Indonesia.
a little bit of Thai back, you know, and you're good to go, man. You know, it's hilarious.
Well, 2K lead for TNC right now. Mainly, I think it's an Armel. But honestly, no, actually not true. Both Armel and Gabi are dominating.
Careful,
in terms of
Armel.
power.
Armel's got Laguna. It is at least 3 points in the attribute shift, but again, he's just bodying. He's got a 2-level advantage.
Dire's middle tower
Yeah, the problem with this is that when you have a burst damage hero in mid... Oh, wait. Arrow, Mamang Daya. Are you still fighting this? Adaptive Strike? Yes. Max strength Adaptive Strike. Push him out. But when you have when you're playing against a hero with burst damage, it's okay because you can at least attribute shift the damage away, right? But you still can't last it when you have full strength. Right?
They're
So
gonna,
that's the problem.
they're gonna lose this tower as well, unless the Mongdai wants
And
to.
maybe his life. They have Laguna.
Okay,
The
maybe
Io,
not.
thank God for that.
good
Just
rota-
waiting for him to
good
attribute shift too much.
rotations. Good rotations out from the AG supports. That was fantastic. Perfectly played.
Yeah, but this time, unlike last time, though, you're not going to get the huge advantage in the mid lane that you did.
No.
So you're just saving your mid laner, and the rest of the lanes for TNC are going to work amazing.
That's okay though. That's okay because AG, he's leaving the lane anyway because he's gonna farm these massive stacks that he's already got going for him, right? It's nighttime, so the Night Stalker's totally fine by himself. So the supports aren't needed, to be honest. So I think that's the most efficient play to be doing to make sure they don't lose that tower with the 5-minute catapult wave. I understand that yes, mostly he's not winning, but you know, always look at the bright side of life. You know, Monty Python.
Man, one of my favorite songs, actually. Life of Brian is a gem. It's better than the Holy Grail, in my opinion.
You've not seen the Holy Grail though. How can you say that?
Don't out me on stream,
Blasphemy!
SeekNStrike!
Blasphemy! You have to watch
anyway.
that movie still. But a good rotation out from Marmel, who will punish the Wisp. DB able to safely back off as his tower actually under some serious pressure. Does have the wave here to play with, so he is going to be able to nuke him down and force back the attackers at the least for now. Morano, not wasting any experience, is now going to probably head back top lane, looks like, but should get some experience mid lane as Tims is doing here on the Rubik. I love watching Tims Rubik. It's a treat.
KP, sorry, in trouble. He has the hold already, though, but the ball getting this physical, and KP's like, forgot about that part. DB, thanks to the help from the IO, he's a bit too fast. In fact, the IO Leshrek was a combination that was quite abused a while. I love the IO lines. He was quite abused for a while because getting extra movement speed to Leshrek is really nice. So you have to be careful about DB. He can be a really powerful enemy right now. But because our Mel and Gabby are doing so well, it's still not that scary. You have a lot of burst damage. And Leshrek, much like DP, hates burst damage because he likes long team fights where Pulse Nova can go for aeons and aeons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, just very true. Yeah. KP,
Sorry.
he's back. Just gonna sap some experience here. Whatever you can do.
Let's see if we get how quick we get pipe on KP, because this time he is rushing it. He's like, yeah, we're not gonna let this Leshrek play, because you've disabled the Morphling, right? So their magical damage is all they have, really. Maybe a bit with Dark Ascension from the Night Stalker, but that's it. Pipe is so valued this game, honestly.
Oh, Boots of Travel already finished up DB, so he's free to
Not bad.
push bottom now that he has these bots. His top tower is going to fall in the meantime there to Gabby and the company, and it's going to be power treads into the Battle Fury for Gabby. Dark Ascension down bottom. They are going to find Whitemon, and he is 100% certified dead.
Whitemon, only a +5, but he was unnecessarily playing the dead lane here. DB can actually take advantage of this and try to go and kill that tower. But they've already taken their tier 1 up top, right? And they're invading the jungle. Look where Gabby is. Like, he knew this was going to happen.
Stealing stacks, too.
Yeah.
Very
He's
nice.
building Battle Fury as well, so it's going to be a really fast, actually pretty fast Battle Fury this game, it seems like.
Tims has stolen. There it is. There it is. That's what we're looking for. The Tims Rubik tether.
And Tims is just now fulfilling the same thing as UK.
Yeah.
UK is so confused, he stops tethering out of confusion. He's like, what is this? Why can they become me? They take the tower now in the middle lane, so this completely opens up the enemy jungle now. And that's what Gabby wants.
And this is bad because unlike most other heroes that want to farm stacks, what am I going on about? Oh, Lesh does not really like farming ancient stacks, mostly because they're just too strong. It takes too much mana, and you're too squishy. He really prefers to farm smaller stacks in the jungle, right? And, well, he's just not able to get that done there with the amount of pressure they're applying now. It's the arrow just shy. Actually, no, the arrow to destroy the wagon instead, my bad.
Another point is that the only ancients that didn't have the magic resist were the...
Oh, yeah, the Prowlers, they got taken out.
Yeah, they got taken out, so Lesh is like a really, really sad boy. Lesh and Tinker cried when that happened, because those were the only two that could kind of reliably farm, so yeah, you're totally right about the Ancients. Diabolic Edict is just terrible when you're farming big stacks,
Yeah,
right?
no, not good at all. Yeah, you farm mostly with the Pulse Nova anyway, with the stacks, like you're saying. But yeah, I mean, it's just real unfortunate because all the Ancients, they actually have auras. So the reason they get really hard to farm later, or the more you stack them, is because some of the auras are a little bit busted when they all get combined. There's like armor, there's like HP, there's magic resist, as in some trouble. It is going to be Wilmy. He's gone a bit too far. Relocate is going to be canceled here by the silence, though. Nicely done by Whitemon.
Okay, 1K, 2K lead now for TNC, very good. And I also really like that Gabby did something. I also see Hector, for example, who's a really good farmer, do this. And Raven will do this sometimes too, where they start building Battle Fury with the damage first, as opposed to the typical Perseverance. Because it actually slightly increases your DPS and will increase your farming speed. And it's the kind of build you can do when you're completely uncontested. And we're seeing this because his Battle Fury is coming at a really good timing, and he still went for Magic Wand, Wraith Band, Treads, you know, so he actually has a lot of extra stuff.
You have to go for the Magic Wand, Wraith Band, and specifically the Treads, because without the Perseverance, you simply don't have the mana regen.
Exactly. Yes.
So, but you're completely right, though. I think this is a really interesting playstyle. Sometimes we see PAs go for the just simple Wraith Band into Battle Fury, quote-unquote naked Battle Fury, right? But I think this one is very appropriate this game, especially because there's, I mean, you control the enemy jungle, so that's just free farm for you.
And right now, AG is desperately trying to close the map for the enemy team. But this is the issue, right? They can try to take this tier 1, and they can now try to go into the enemy triangle, but there's no way they're getting back their own jungle. It's been stolen from them, and it's going to be forever TNCs now. Because they're put all the sentries there, all the wards. Gabby has made this his home, and it's very difficult now to actually stop Gabby from farming. And I think he might actually get a 14-minute Battle Fury, which is really, really good time, honestly.
It is.
15 is standard for his build.
It is.
And even
really
with
good.
this build, I would say 15 is actually kind of quick, because he actually went for extra items like Infused Raindrops.
Yeah, and then in the meantime, TNC, they're getting distracted by a cat, but not for too long. I can't believe Tim's is still just holding on to Tether, but I mean, why not? He's got some pretty good base regen stats this early on, right?
Right? Yeah, I think it's quite nice. And you actually take advantage of Centaur's nice movement.
Look at it. He's like, yeah, I'll play Wisp. Like, I earned myself, bro. Don't worry. You get in there.
I mean, Tim's is a brutally good Wisp, by the way.
Yeah.
It was sad when they changed the Wisp, because, you know, Tim's is a really mechanical player. So it was a beautiful thing to watch him play Wisp back when it was harder. Gabby actually now completed Battle Fury before minute 14. This is absolutely absurd. I mean, it's not the fastest Battle Fury I've ever seen, but it's really fast, though.
Yeah, it's really, really impressive.
And he has stacks ready, by the way, for when he got the Battle Fury. This is Coronation.
This is great. I mean, again, though, just to say last game, I mean, last game was going much differently. I think it was like 7-3 maybe in favor of AG. And we see TNC actually getting aggressive, where they might find Mamang Daya just kind of farming here. We have the Telekinesis lift. He has gotten off the Attribute Shift, however, but they're a little bit slow to apply the Vessel Charge there. Stampede to try and follow up. Nice slow there, as he's going to morph into Rubik, but that's going to allow Armel to pick up the kill and finish farming his nice stack of Ancients. Thank you very much, they say. As Gabby, in the meantime, finishing off the Kitty Cat now. Gabby, though, in some trouble, surrounded by 3 heroes. KP has rotated on through, though. Has the Stomp, connecting it onto 2 as the Soulbind as well. Will find 2 heroes with that double edge. Make it a quadruple edge, but the relocate out just in the nick of time. Should save the life of DB, but not the Wisp, unfortunately.
3K lead now for TNC. It's not even minute 15, and they already got all their basic, you know, core items essentially here. KP is closing in on that Blink Dagger, which is the last thing they're really looking for. And Armel actually going for a Shadowblade build. He's taking one from Illidan. Always loved Saints. This is a build that everyone made fun of for a while, and now everyone's doing it. Yules to counter Yules? No need. You look, actually, LYM was baiting that. He thought that Armel was in a Yules out of panic.
But he didn't even start the animation, though.
Yeah, he should have baited a bit more.
Yeah.
Should have pumped. You know,
you pump fake it. You have her throw her hand back, right, for the arrow. But no, I mean, it's whatever. You show it.
It's a
hey,
spear. It's not an arrow.
It's to put the fear of God in them, as MLP likes to say.
No, drag and drop.
Drag and drop. That's right. Put the fear of God in them.
Poor guy, already giving MLP more credit.
Oh, it was my mistake. It was my mistake. I think didn't I play? I don't want to talk about that. That's whatever. But Morphling, though, after that kill, his farm is very, very lackluster, which is not how you want to be playing Morphling. They already have the full Vessel to counter you with the Lina, with KP as well. Tim's just so much nukes and burst. It's not going to be a really fun game for him here.
They're going to take the tier 2, I think, finally. I mean, they're just waiting for the next lane increase. However, it's good that AG is doing this as well. They're trading towers at least. It sucks a bit because the match currently favors TNC regardless due to their farm, but at least they're kind of matching their space control, which is fine. Their map control, sorry. And you are utilizing the last track pretty decently for yourself.
Yep.
I think TNC can just wait this out for a while, though. They don't want to fight at nighttime anyway, so. I mean, you have Narc Ascension, so maybe you try to go for a pickoff here once Lina gets Shadowblade, and then maybe smoke with a Shadowblade, or maybe just Lina still trying to get a solo kill, because it's quite viable.
They're going to smoke right under vision, though. Right under vision, so this shouldn't go anywhere here for TNC as they're now going to gather onto the high ground. Ward's placed down. They will try and push this up, but Armel with the Shadow Blade here could potentially re-engage. You'll stepped it up here for Whitemon. They're going to try and nuke him down, and the rest of TNC will just kind of let that one happen. Double lift though, double fade bolt on top as KP now re-engaging from behind. Won't trying to lift. Nice mechanism there from UK. Should allow him to escape quite easily as the drum charge is used and Moonlight Shadow to retreat under the cover.
Stalker.
They're near
There's the
engage.
void. Armel, careful. KP. By the way, I suppose that you've already something that works, right?
Yeah, long ago.
Oh, great. The arrow will hit the PA. Pretty decent target, but the Inkswell hurt, and actually they baited Wami realizing his mistake as he runs away. But the the Stroke of Fate hits both of them, and Morphling doesn't activate shift in time. He got surprised by the telekinesis, which is a really low cast point, and they punished him for it. Armel finds a secondary kill here on the Mirana. Lightstrike Array. Nah, Yols to counter Yols. Mirana can still leap. No, never mind.
No.
She had no
charges.
contingency plan. And actually, UK was trying to save her as well.
Whoa, I did not see the UK there.
Radiant's bottom
He
tower
relocated in,
is
didn't he,
under
that mad
attack.
lad?
That was much like what happened to Europe. DP running away with Devil Edict, and no, okay.
Yep, they're going to right into Roche though. They already have the Desto on PA. She's able to join fights quite nicely, and this is going to now be Aegis in her back pocket, like a laptop in her back pocket, and should proceed quite nicely from this game. Going a lot smoother than the last one here for TNC. They should already have the pipe completed. No, not quite. I always forget how expensive this recipe is there. So still needing a little bit for the pipe of insights. But even after you have that, it's going to be really, really quite a nice game here for TNC. They've got all the tools proceeding quite nicely here. Armel going for that Shadow Blade is going to allow him to get maybe a few surprise kills. Even just one onto the Morphlane is really going to make that worth it for him. And then from there, I think the rest of the TNC are just going to be way too strong here, as we still have our Morphling quite poor, to be honest. He is trailing the pack, and now 4K behind Gabby.
Yeah, I mean, this is expected, honestly, after his laning stage, though. I think he's recovered actually quite decently, considering how bad his laning was, but the mistake was just putting him against Alina. They should have just put the Lightstrike there. Now they've been playing from behind from the start just because of that decision, and this is not great for AG. We've mentioned this multiple times, but I think this team excels in the early to mid game, much more so in the late game. So TNC can really take one for them if this game goes a bit too long. However, they're starting to play aggressive themselves, and they want to create more space for the map. They want to dominate any triangle, make sure they have no place to farm. But to do so, they gotta take the bottom tier 1 and tier 2.
Yeah, and that's always, of course, the last two towers. Generally, the last two towers to fall here, but I think this game, there's good reason for them to try and play that a little bit more aggressively. Gabby just walking around looking for something to farm, but he's gonna have to wait a little bit longer, unless there's a little Morphling that goes a bit too far. Won't be doing a good job of playing that dead lane. Going for the Aghanim Scepter, which I do like. I think we've seen... Was it AG play the Night Stalker earlier with the Ags? No, that was Boom, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
When they won versus TNC.
No, it was AG as well that tried to do the Ags Night Stalker on 1. Yeah. They did it the Ags as well. They lost that one, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting Rubik build this game. I think he is just... Tims is just trying to play Wisp here. He's going for the Guardian Greaves, which is a good item. But, you know, that's not usually...
He's playing IO.
That's not usually the Blink Dagger or the Aether Lens that we usually see Tims build. I mean, listen, if he queues up a freaking Holy Locket, I'm gonna lose it, dude.
In a good way, right? Because this is a great way. Like, I never thought of a counter to IO or just pick Rubik. Because Tether is impossible not to steal, right? Honestly.
No, not always. In fact, it can be kind of hard to steal, right? Oh, hold on.
I think so.
Fight breaking out. They're gonna catch TP here.
There we go. Lightstrike stuck thanks to the Yol Scepter. Secondary Yol Scepter from Lesh, but that's not gonna do much. They had everything for him. And, you know, I mean, like, because IO, whenever he tethers to try to run away, you can always steal it there, and then you keep it for a really long time.
Sure.
I think it's rather easy to steal, to be
Yeah,
honest.
but I mean, an IO shouldn't, quote unquote, shouldn't be in that position ever, right? An IO should just be constantly tethered, because tethered, you no longer have to recast.
That's true.
So it just lasts forever now until you cancel it, until you break the tether. So, you know, and pros like to say, oh, if the tether breaks, that's always the IO's fault, right? Quote unquote. I think that's a little, whatever, wishy-washy, especially when you have cores that just have so much mobility.
Well, you do mimic their mobility, though.
Yeah, but you
the
don't
problem-
you don't copy waveforms, you don't copy Blink Dagger, you know, like Yeah, whatever. Obviously, I think I made my position on that stance clear just from that statement. But so it can be easy to steal, obviously, because it's not like he's just gonna cast Wisp. It's not like a big concern to an IO. If you give him Tether, you'll be like whatever. But it is generally quite easy to steal. But if an IO is playing quote unquote perfectly according to what pros seem to think an IO should be played like, then you're never gonna steal it, right?
I agree, but I would say that in this game it's a bit different because you don't have the best IO partner. Like the IO should be going between Leshrac and Morphling and even Night Stalker constantly, right? Some of the advantages here is that you will tether before the fight and then tether in the middle depending on who needs the healing, because you don't have the Gyrocopter or the old timey or even the CK or whatever to combine with the IO. So I think this is why the Rubik's works so well, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna play IO. I'm gonna play like a poor man's IO. Oh, he went for Blink Dagger. No, Tims!
No, Tims, don't.
I was so excited. I want Holy Locket this game.
He's trolling us. That's okay. I'm sure he'll build.
He went for Vessel still, right? So I guess that's the best way.
I mean, yes, but mostly for, of course. Well, yeah, I guess the IO and the Morph. It's got just such good utility this game, doesn't it?
Exactly, right? So it's still a really good idea. I like the itemization. I like it. Tim's always thinks a bit outside the box as well. He's not too afraid to try itemizations that people would criticize, right? Let's see. Silence at the 1-me. They use the Stampede as well to get close to him, and they decimate him. With LYM trying to get away. Oh, the secondary lead.
Oh,
look at the wall. Look at the wall. Pray they're not coming in.
The bait.
Nice. Very well played there. They thought he was going to leap a second time, but that was a good TP. Still a lost fight, by the way.
Yes,
I mean, you got away, but still not good for you.
I mean, it's the small things, right?
Yeah.
You know, everyone remembers. Since for some reason we're bringing up the UK and you know, everyone remembers Dunkirk, not for the fact that the British had lost the entire mainland continent, but the fact that they escaped, right?
And the fact that was a great movie.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I mean, a little bit of a Dunkirk there. He manages to escape, and nice stuff there. KP now finishing off the full pipe of insight as we have a BKB now for DB. That's going to allow him to play a bit aggressively, but you know, I mean, a Deso on the PA already is still going to be able to cut through him very, very quickly, even with a Wisp and his mechanism. So some caution there is to be definitely advised.
I mean, the bottom tower is not going to follow, and this is what I was talking about though, where it doesn't really matter if you escape here because you're still being choked to death.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It kind of sucks because you need to make something happen. This is a good smoke. Well, it's a good smoke, no, but it's desperate smoke, and you have to do this or else you lose the game. It's the Hail Mary smoke when it comes to the point when you realize you have zero map control.
Oh,
you
and
barely have
gonna
any
break
wards.
the smoke with Invis, and they're thinking it's elsewhere now. Womey popping
Wait, really?
the ulti.
They didn't have any vision?
No, they didn't have detection, and Gabby now is going to say hello. A little bit of a stun onto Lim, managing to escape at least for now. Gabby holding on to that 10-second BKB though, as the arrow will connect onto him. Stampede utilized now, as that's going to be the go-ahead. LSA though stopping them from trying to re-engage further onto one, but look at that actually. They actually find the kill. I believe that was with a stolen split earth from Tim's. No, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was a stop. It was a hoof stomp from
Oh,
KP.
great hoof stomp from KP then.
Yeah, you know what was best is that he actually waited. Oh, they're going to catch the Night Stalker too. He's flying in the air. They have the Inkswell. Whoa, me. What you going to do? Woe is me. Anyway. TNC here, what they did was really good is KP knew the Manta style was coming up, so the Morphling, usually you don't do anything. That's a GG.
Yep.
As Morphling, usually you don't start attribute shifting if you have Manta, because you can always evade, right? And then you start attribute shifting afterwards. It's very common on Morphling, it's just kind of muscle memory. But Tims knew this, or sorry, KP knew this, and he waited until the Manta style came out, and then Hoof Stomp, predicting it. So very, very well played there by KP.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I think this game boils down to one simple thing.